Entonces, allí fue donde nació la idea de una organización para, pues para tantas cosas. No puedo casi mencionar porque eso es tan infinito para tantas cosas. Pero bueno, para la educación de nosotros mismos, los hispanos y la integración de hispanos con los americanos. Yo ofrecía mi vivienda para juntarnos. También nos ofrecieron algunos lugares, por ejemplo, restaurantes de los hispanos que habían o negocios de los hispanos que habían, igualmente, que nos colaboraron. Ellos, los negocios hispanos, empezaron a colaborarnos, por supuesto, a medida de lo que ellos tenían.
Fue una de las intenciones que surgió debido a esa necesidad que había de la comunicación entre hispanos y americanos, ¿verdad? Porque aquí pues habían americanos. Es una ciudad de americanos y nosotros somos como visitando este lugar y bueno, teníamos que tener esa solidaridad y esa comunicación con los americanos. Entonces, debido a eso, se tuvo que hacer esas pequeñas reuniones para plantear y discutir qué se podía hacer para ayudar a los hispanos y ayudar la confianza entre hispanos y americanos.
Yo vine aquí en 1991, en ese tiempo había muy pocas personas hispanas aquí. Afortunadamente yo era bilingüe para ese tiempo. Empecé a trabajar en Farbes, pero también traduje documentos para ellos, para otras personas hispanas. También en mis trabajos que he trabajado he podido ayudar a la comunidad hispana a progresar dentro del trabajo y no ser abusados. Para mí eso es muy importante y en el primer año que hicimos el primer festival latino, Mayor Dennis Spinner y Brad Ward came to me to say, hey, you think you can help these guys because you're bilingual to set up this festival. So I agreed and we did all the findings we needed to do, got all the permits we had to have, and then from there we started the festival. Everything that we did that year we did with a $3,000 donation from the Dubois County Community Foundation.
Después de eso ya se formalizó una ley, se le puso lo que es el nombre ALASI y ya pues hasta un abogado para que llevara un papeleo ya que todo ya fuera más legalizado.
Mi primer posición fue vicepresidente de ALASI. Una de las razones por las que el grupo me escogió, a mí me gusta mucho hablar en público, tengo facilidad de palabra, me gusta hacer declamación, canto y toco guitarra. Entonces, como estaba yo en la radio y estaba yo maestro de ceremonias en las fiestas, en las quinceañeras, en las bodas, andaba yo en ese ambiente, pues mi primer posición, ellos pensaban que sería bueno para buscar algo de promoción, para que nos conociera la gente un poquito más allá de ese tiempo que era el principio del arranque de nuestra organización ALASI.
One of the barriers also would be just trust, so trusting each other, trusting the president, the board, vice president, secretary, and then vice versa, the community trusting us, trying to gain that trust from them. I thought that was a pretty challenging thing there.
Yeah, I would agree with you, Ubaldo. I think, again, at the time, we were trying to navigate what ALASI was standing for and what our role was for the community, but then trying to take that to the larger, broader community and make allies and establish ourselves as a trusted organization that people wanted to partner with. I think that was really challenging, and it required all of us to build relationships outside of ALASI. I remember you serving on different teams with other people, and I remember I was also trying to serve on other boards and trying to establish ourselves and then continue to bring up the name ALASI, like become that partner.
We wanted to get a needs assessment because we found out we didn't know what the Latino community was needing, what resources they were getting, or what just the demographics, age, sex, anything that was here in the county. We wanted to get a more accurate number so we can target those areas a little bit more. And yeah, through CRE, we were able to work on a needs assessment like survey, and they did an awesome job with like advertising and booklets and taking care of all the marketing side of things.
And then following that needs assessment, we started planning the first ever bilingual health fair here in the community, which was amazing. It was nerve-wracking because we were like, todo mundo viene al Festival Latino porque se quieren divertir. And then we had an inside joke that said like, oh yes, I'm gonna go get some tacos and pupusas, and then the next booth, I'm gonna get my sugar, my blood pressure. But it worked. Fue maravilloso, vino mucha gente y tuvimos la oportunidad de tener un intérprete en cada booth. So our community, our Spanish-speaking community, would have direct access to all of the service providers in the county.
Speaking that day about it being everything that I wish my parents would have had when they came to this country, is a place where they could go to receive that access.
We'd been an organization run by 100% volunteers to this point, and to really scale the support that we provide and to grow our impact, we needed to do a couple of things. We needed to merge our two Latino serving organizations in the county, the Latino Collaboration Table and ALASI, but we needed a physical space and that we needed paid staff to run that. So we needed to take that next step of moving to a more robust organization.
We had struggled with this issue for years about what is the next logical step, or what is something that will really move the needle to where we all wanted to be. And I remember when I was there, when they revealed the report at VUJ and they gave us that report, there was just almost a stunned silence amongst those who had worked so hard on it, because it was this aha moment that you looked at it and went, yes, this is a plan that we can see and can be realized because of all the effort that went into it. And I must say, from someone on the other side now with the Center for Rural Engagement, what a wonderful learning experience Dubois County provided the students that participated in that as well. It was a real meaningful research for those who came and were part of that. And from the center's point of view and from Indiana University's point of view, it was a tremendous learning experience for them as well. So it was a great two-way street.
So I remember when that report was revealed, that there were tears. There were actual tears from people of like, this is what we've been asking for such a long time. This is what we've needed. And it finally felt like our voice was being heard of what the need was. And it was presented to a larger group, right? Where it came, like, to your point, it had some data to back it. It had, it looked at the resources that we had in our community and looked at how we could best optimize it, right? By merging these two groups together. And so I just remember feeling relief. Like, I walked away from that feeling like something had just been lifted off my chest, and we were going to be moving in the right direction.
The opening of the Resource Center was an excitement that we could not even put our fingers on. That day when all of our sponsors, the community, the government employees, and the students from the Southridge High School were here to watch that event, it culminated in what we had all dreamed, was that we had the support of the community for this center. The center has been, I think, more than what any of us even dreamed.
All of the work that we've been doing all together, the community, the board, recently merged community leaders with getting all of us under one mission and vision. That was a beautiful, una parte hermosa. Y esa visión y esa misión they were towards the improvement of our community. And as our founders have said since the beginning, since day one, it is that bridging the gap. Puede sonar como muy dicho ya para estas fechas, pero that bridging the gap between cultures in this place that we decide to call home.
I can see it as an example of, as other immigrant populations start emerging in Dubois County, I think they'll find this as a place where they can go for support, and they can see a way to reach where they want to be as they come into a new community. So I think it's a model that should be studied, should be revealed, and should be offered to others as they come and want to tackle these same issues in their own towns.
And to me, my hopes for ALASI is for ALASI to continue being the support to strengthen the cultural identity of every young person that comes to live in Dubois County. I envision a future where ALASI can dedicate the time and effort towards building that identity, because we don't have to fight or build bridges because the bridges are already there.